So when I was starting doing cardio, or actually starting going to the gym, just periodically, let's say before, this was when I was in middle school, I got to this little gym on this hotel where they have like treadmills and this little stationary bicycle and some dumbbells. The typical hotel gym you see. And this was very fun for me because I had never went to an actual gym, so I just went there and used a treadmill for the first time. And I ran around 30 minutes on this treadmill, and I really enjoyed it just because of the sake of doing it. And I realized that cardio really has some benefits because I usually also practice soccer, so most of my exercises were aerobic. So I decided to start doing that while I was practicing soccer. So I was just keeping up with very aerobic exercise, but I never lifted weights or anything because of my parents really told me that, oh, you hinder your growth. That's actually not true now. But when I keep doing and going to the gym, some people started telling me that, oh, maybe cardio is not the best thing, or mostly on social media I saw that, oh, that cardio kills your gains, and I was like very scared of it. So what did I do? Honestly, I started researching, and I started actually training consistently, creating a routine, and building a lot of muscle. And now it's almost 4 years that I'm in this experience, and I need to tell you some 5 cardio myths that maybe you are believing, that maybe you still think that it's true, but it's actually not. In some sense, maybe true in some scenarios, but it's not true in most scenarios. So I want to tell you these 5 points that you really need to hear and just debunk this myth so you can be more secure, you can be less scared every single time you're gonna go and do cardio, because cardio is a very wide topic, and it's has so many things that you can do for so many goals that you can do. So the number one is that cardio means running every single day. When I have met some people that when we're talking about cardio, they say that, oh, I need to run then. Oh, I need to run X amount of days. You don't need to run. You just need to choose an exercise that is aerobic, that you can do consistently every single week, that it doesn't hurt your joints. Because I'm going to tell my example, my experience. I started running last year because I really want to up my cardio, and I chose running because you really work and it's not that easy. You actually have some intensity factor there, but the bad thing for me is that it really hurt my knees. It really created some pain in my knees, and I realized that maybe it was because of the way I ran. I didn't practice it correctly. I didn't do it correctly, but I still tried to better myself, right? But still, the knee pain was there. So for around after 6 months, I just decided to stop running. And what did I do? I stopped doing cardio? No, because cardio has a lot of benefits apart from losing fat, right? So what did I do? I just changed it. I changed it to cycling, stationary bicycle, or the elliptical, and now it has been way better for me because I recover faster in my knee. My knee almost doesn't hurt anymore, which is great. So that's a good thing, is that you don't need to run. There's so many exercises that you can do. You can do swimming, you can do soccer, you can do basketball, you can do just any aerobic exercise that you find on Google or ChatGPT tells you that's aerobic exercise. All right. So make sure that when you do cardio, don't do running. There's a lot of options that you can also do that you can enjoy. Number two is that HIIT cardio is the best cardio for losing fat, and that's completely false, because cardio, and mostly intensity cardio, most people do it to burn more calories in less time, which is great. But the bad thing about high intensity cardio is that the fatigue factor is going to be way higher, and the more HIIT or the more high intensity cardio you're going to make a week, more fatigue you're going to be, and the more tired you're going to be, and maybe your joints are not going to feel that good, right? So my recommendation, especially if you are having the goal of building muscle while you lose fat, is that you keep high intensity interval training to the minimum, 1 to 2 days a week for just 30 minutes, if that's possible. And keep it mostly low intensity. Try to walk a lot, or run the stationary bicycle or the elliptical, or run too if you really enjoy it. Something that it doesn't hurt your joints that much, so you can recover on the maximum where you're in a cut. Especially, I'm talking a losing fat point, but if you're building muscle or you're in just maintenance calories, which I'm going to talk about calories on the next points, then you are recovering faster. But if you want to lose fat, I think that very high intense cardio, it's not the best option in my opinion, because you're gonna just feel more tired every day. Now, number three is that cardio kills your gains. Now we're gonna talk about the building muscle perspective. This is a big topic that some bodybuilders talk about when they want to build the most amount of muscle possible, and that's okay. If you don't want to kill your gains because you think cardio is gonna kill your gains, then it's okay. But in my opinion, I don't think that cardio kills gains, because I have trained for 4 years consistently and I have seen noticeable changes, even though I have kept my cardio levels almost the same for all this time, right? I have changed the modalities. Maybe now I'm doing it more because I really also started taking seriously my cardiovascular health, as well as other points in my life, like being more energetic and just enjoying the exercises. So cardio doesn't kill your gains. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist completely, because the interference effect is a thing, and there's gonna be some scenarios that I'm gonna explain you now that you may be actually losing some gains. And number one scenario is that you do your cardio before your workouts, and that indirectly kills your gains, because when you do your workout after the cardio, you're not gonna have the same energy as if you're doing it before. So I recommend there. I just said it. Just do it after your workouts. Do the cardio after your workouts, so you can have any focus on lifting weights, which is way more important than cardio. If you maintain your muscle mass and you build muscle mass, is way better than just doing cardio. So in my opinion, doing both is way better than just doing one of them. Focus on your anaerobic training, which is lifting weights, and then your aerobic training, which is your cardio. Number two scenario is that you're doing too much cardio. You're doing an hour every single day. Some people can handle that. It all depends on how much you see and how much muscle you maintain, and if you see negative or positive results. I'm not saying there's a blueprint for everybody, but if you do a lot of cardio, trust me that it's gonna interfere, especially on your strength levels as well. So be aware of that. Be aware how much cardio you do. Be aware when you do the cardio. If you're doing it one day before your leg day, and if your leg session doesn't go that well, maybe because you did that cardio session last day. But it all depends on your experience. Now, I'm not saying that this is gonna happen full, but you need to really be aware of how much cardio you do and how much lifting weights you're doing, right? Another scenario that the interference effect may occur is that you do very high intensity cardio. Again, if you do very high intensity, the fatigue ratio is higher, and you're not gonna feel so energetic to go to your workouts and lift weights, right? So that's also a point you need to be aware of. So yes, you can do high intensity cardio, but try to do it in the days where you're not training, or in a rest day, which is way better in that way. Just if you do it after your workouts, which may you're not have the same performance even. So, and another scenario that it may kill your gains is that you're doing cardio that really hurts your joints and makes it all worse. And indirectly, when you go to your workouts, you feel your knees hurt because you just ran a lot last day, and you're not gonna have the best performance again, like I just mentioned in the last scenario. But cardio really may kill your gains, but it's on those extreme scenarios. The rest scenarios, most scenarios, you're not gonna lose your gains. All right, so do your cardio. Don't be lazy. Come on. I know, maybe a bit exhausting, but trust me, once you finish it, you're gonna say, thank God I did cardio, because there's so many benefits of cardio that you shouldn't avoid it. All right. Number four is that you burn more calories the more you do. And that may be true, but I'm going to talk about compensation, which is that when you up your cardio above a level that you're not used to it, that you just decided that instead of doing 30 minutes 4 days a week, now I'm going to do 50, 60 minutes 4 days a week, right? You will feel more hungry, you will feel more fatigued, and you will eat more. And that's the compensation effect. The more activity you do that is not used to, you're just gonna feel way more hungry. So instead of just doing that, you can actually try to just focus on progressive overload. You can add 5 minutes to your sessions week by week, or just 5 minutes to 2 sessions, and then the other 2 sessions also get 5 minutes, and then you progress slowly, and this way your body adapts. But it doesn't adapt so quickly, and you don't get too hungry and may overeat during those days that you do a lot of cardio, and you just lose because you actually start gaining some weight and gaining some fat, and you don't want that, right? So yes, you can burn a lot of calories with cardio, but do it in a way that it doesn't make you hungry, doesn't make you so fatigued. All right, so that's why modalities exist: low intensity, high intensity. Again, the higher the intense cardio, the longer it dures, the more hungry you're gonna be, and the more food you're gonna need through your system, right? Makes sense. And last one is that it hurts your joints. Now, I mentioned earlier that cardio, especially running, hurts your knees. That may be true for some of us, especially in my experience, but for some other people, you're not gonna actually experience knee pain. But some people believe that every single cardio you make is gonna hurt your joints. Like being in the stationary bicycle or even walking is gonna hurt your joints. Now, it all depends on how much you do it and how good you do it. If you're doing it in a bad form, just like in lifting weights, your joints are gonna hurt. The same is with cardio. You need to do the exercise the correct way. You need to run in this position that you don't place your foot first on your heels, because that is gonna really hurt your knees. But if you know what you do, if you look at YouTube the tutorials on how to make the elliptical, how to run the bicycle in this seated position correctly with the back position in the way that it doesn't hurt you, then it's gonna be just fine. You're not gonna hurt your joints. But you need to really, again, choose an exercise modality and intensity and duration that it doesn't hurt your joints. If you see that after 45 minutes of cardio your joints start to hurt, I think you should lower the duration or try to spread it out in a week. Instead of doing 45 minutes, instead of doing 45 minutes 4 days a week, try to do 30 minutes 5 days a week. And that way you can recover and get used to the cardio, and your joints just don't fatigue too much. It all depends on how much you can do, how much your body responds to. But that was my 5 key points, in my opinion. If you really enjoyed these 5 points, make sure to watch my other videos. But before that, I want to also update you guys. As you can see, I'm in a different background. That means I'm staying right now in Virginia because I'm doing in a nuclear internship in a nuclear power plant, because I'm studying engineering, and as some of you guys already know. But I'm staying with a roommate. I'm staying in this very second floor here, a very nice house. And honestly, I'm very proud that I'm keeping up with you guys with the videos, because I'm trying to post, again, 1 video a week. I'm going to try to start posting 2 videos a week. I don't promise anything, but for now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check this one out of which are the most useless exercises that you should do. All right. So again, guys, I'll update you guys in the next video. And again, be aware of this cardio myths, because there's so many things that people will tell you, but the best thing you can do is to search good information from reliable sources like me as a personal trainer. So if you enjoyed the video, again, make sure to like and subscribe. See y'all in the next video. Don't forget to check this video out. All right, guys. See y'all.